Hello, friends. We've made it to day 5. Today's theme is balance. So I am just trying to introduce this idea of balancing steadiness with ease, balancing fire with water, balancing groundedness with air, balancing the breath, physically balancing in our body. So I'm going to let this theme unfold throughout the class. All you're going to need today are 2 blocks. Make your way onto your mat, open your mind and spirit, and let's get started. So why don't we just begin today with our breath? Why not? Let's just begin with the breath. We're going to balance our breath. So find a comfortable seat and choose it wisely. It doesn't have to be the same every day, or it can be, but maybe surprise yourself. Maybe see if there's something else that works for you today or feels more interesting. Maybe not. It's all good. Just check in. Then close your eyes once you're there. And just give yourself a moment or a couple breaths just to arrive here and let go of everything that came before this and everything that will come after this, and just feel into this moment. What does it feel like to be here completely right now? And notice any balance or imbalance between the inhale and exhale as you're just gently breathing in and breathing out. Choosing a count that works for you, where you can make it to your fullest, brightest breath at the top. Notice that pause between your inhale and your next exhale, and then match the same count to the exhale. And at the bottom of the exhale, the navel is drawing all the way into the spine, so you're really pushing out any stale or stagnant air, breath, energy. Noticing that pause between your exhale and your next inhale. So we will begin together. Go ahead and empty out the breath. Breathing in through your nose to whatever count works for you. And breathing out as you draw your navel all the way in towards your spine. And now just hold a few moments of silence here for you to really tap into balancing your breath. Simply breathing in and simply breathing out. We'll just take 2 more rounds of breath. And then before we move into the movement portion of this class, just take a moment to feel, experience, notice any sensations, any thoughts, any new sense of balance. And then blinking the eyes open whenever you feel ready. And keep coming back to this breath. It is the quickest way to help us find balance. So as we move into more challenging postures in this class, remember that the breath The stronger the breath, the stronger the body. The slower the breath, the calmer the body. The breath is the whole thing. It's the only thing that matters. And just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when we're moving through balance. Okay, so we're going to make our way onto all fours and finding your stable tabletop position. We know it very well. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing down through that first finger pad right at the base of the first finger. Claw the earth with the fingertips. Find that long, strong spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next inhale, drop the belly down, reach the heart through. Crown of the head, tailbone reaching up towards the sky. And really it's like pulling your knees and your hands together. Really stretch the front of the body. Open up the heart. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, push the ground away, let the shoulder blades part. And just move in and out of these two poses in whatever creative way you feel today. You already know so much about the movements of yoga, so you know how to move your spine, you know how to feel into your body, you know how to show up to the moment and breathe and be easy on yourself and choose adventure. And now we're just going to try to balance. Balance the strength with the ease. Balance the inhale with the exhale. Balance our fiery energy that motivates us, that keeps us going, with our water energy, the energy that allows us to be adaptable and go with the flow. And we need to stay grounded just as much as we need to fly. Took me a minute to get there, but I got there. Okay, coming back into your stable tabletop position. So we're going to try again this tabletop core stabilization and add on just a little bit to it. So before we move there, I want you to feel into this stable tabletop. So make sure that you're really engaged in the arms. You're not dumping down. The shoulder blades are not squeezing together. They're pushing down and away from each other. And the same thing with the knees. So you're lifting up just a little bit in the low back so that your low belly core is engaged. And just feel into this muscle memory movement thing. And then when you feel ready, extend the right leg back, press through the heel, maybe reach the heart forward. And then lift it up so it's parallel to the ground. I feel like it's easier to have my left toes curled under, but you can decide here if you want the top of the foot flat on the ground or curled under. And then press down to lift up out of that left hip if you're like me and you tend to just dump that weight right there. And then letting the breath initiate the movement, we're going to lift the opposite arm up so it's parallel to the ground. So stay here if you're still feeling like you need a little bit of extra time, just stabilizing, just learning how to balance here. Stay here. This is hard. This isn't super simple. So stay here. If you want to take it a little bit further, we can bring the knee and the elbow in towards each other on the exhale. Strong breath, strong body. Inhale, take it back out. Exhale. Loud, strong, fiery breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring it together. Inhale, lengthen, hold. And then exhale, go ahead, release the hand, release the knee. Sit back on the heels for a moment if that's okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. So we're balancing the fiery energy of core work with the watery energy of just allowing that to flow through us. Yeah? Roll out the ankles. The wrists. The wrists. And then come back onto your tabletop. Set your foundation up well. And take a moment just to feel really strong here. It looks like a very simple pose, and it is. We're just on our hands and knees, but we want to be really engaged here. And when we focus in on like our stabilization, our foundation, we are in the moment. We are right here, right now, not thinking about anything else. Extend the left leg back. Curl the toes under, just press through the heel, maybe reach the heart forward. Just breathe. And then when you feel ready, lift it up so it's parallel to the ground. And remember, the more activated we are in this leg that's in the air, the more activated we are throughout our whole body, because it takes a lot of core work just to keep our leg up in the air. Stay here, or you can lift the opposite arm up. So left leg, right arm. The palm is facing towards the center, really engaged in those limbs. Try to press up, lift out of that right hip. If you want to take it further, you're coming with me. Use the strong breath as you exhale. Bring the knee and elbow in towards each other. Inhale, take it out. Together. Up heart. Together. Back out. Last one. And exhale, lower, down, slowly. Sit back on your heels or on a block. Close your eyes. Just letting that integrate. And you can probably feel it. You can feel in your core where you were the most engaged. What muscles need to activate in order to hold ourselves in balance. Cool. Come back up onto your tabletop. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, toes touch, sink it all the way back into a child's pose. Walk the hands out. You can rest your head on a block, on a blanket, on your hands or on the mat. And just try to let your heart melt a little bit closer to the ground. We'll just take 2 breaths here. And on your 3rd inhale, we're going to lift back up onto all 4s. Set up that foundation again, so spread the fingers really wide. Press down through the first finger pad, claw the earth with the fingertips, curl the back toes under. We're going to lift our hips up into a downward facing dog. And take a moment when you get there just to work out any kinks that you feel right away. You can walk one leg out and then the other. Sway your hips from side to side. You can come in and out of your downward facing dog. And then when you feel ready for stillness, bend the knees, send the tailbone up towards the sky, reach the heart back towards your thighs, let the weight of your head hang. Try to stay engaged in your foundation in your hands. And slide the shoulders down the back. So this pose, everything is engaged, right? So how can you find a bit of ease here? Is it in your breath? Is it in the way you speak to yourself? Is it in the muscles in your face, in your shoulders, in your belly? Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, come back down onto all 4s. Sit back on your heels. So we're going to be moving from the down dog into our lunge again. And I just want to offer a couple of suggestions if you're just feeling like not today. I'm not again. I'm not doing this today. That's okay. You don't have to do that today. What you can do instead is grab your blocks so that you can lift the ground up just a little bit in your tabletop, and then bring the right foot forward in between the hands. And then you can heel toe it forward as far as you need so that when you come down into your lunge, your knee is stacked on top of your ankle. You're welcome to stay down on your back knee if you want. Where I'm hoping we will just attempt today is to lift up off of the back knee. So that is an option if you are not into moving from downward dog into a lunge. However, if you are coming with me, set up that foundation. Really strong in the hands, and that's always just protecting our wrists. Curl the toes under, lift the hips back up into a downward facing dog. Bring the toes to touch. Bend the knees, send the hips up as high as you can. Get a lot of stretch in the back of the body. On your next inhale, shoot that right leg back up behind you. It doesn't matter how high. Circle the ankle for a moment. Both directions. You got this. You're working your core. You're doing great. As you exhale, we're going to bring that leg forward. Shift the weight forward. Push the ground away. Give yourself some room as you round the spine, and then bring that right foot forward. Take your time walking it to the front of the mat. And then for balance sake, we're going to walk both feet as wide as the mat. So we have a really wide lunge stance. So you can be on your back knee if you want to, or you can try it off of the back knee. And then go ahead and come on up. You can bring your hand onto your knee just for a moment to continue setting up that foundation. Knee is right on top of the ankle. Bring your hands to your hips. And then imagine your tailbone growing down towards the ground. So you feel your low belly engage. You probably feel a bigger stretch through the left hip flexor. Sink down. Stay here and just work on lifting the heart away from the hips as you very gently lean back. Shoulder blades can begin to move in towards each other. Or you can lift the arms up over the head. Your upper arm bones are kind of in line with your ears. Reach up, long extension of the spine as you back bend backwards. Breathe. Strong breath. How can you balance this amount of strength with just a little bit of ease? On your next inhale, straighten that front leg, and then hop this back foot forward. Hop, hop, hop. Shift your weight into your right foot. Stay on your tippy toes of your left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push down into the ground with that right foot. Lift up out of the right hip. At the same time, maybe lift your left leg up so your knee is in line with your hip. You can grab a hold of your knee or the back of your leg, or you can keep your hands on your hips. Remember, however engaged you are in that leg that's in the air, the more core work you're doing, which helps you remain in this pose. Keep breathing. One more deep breath. And exhale, let it go. Shake out the right leg, the left leg. Shake it all out, let it go. I'm holding these balancing postures for just a little bit longer than I expect other people to, just so you can fall in and out of the pose. Because I believe that is one of the most important pillars of being a beginner, is being okay with falling and getting back up again and giving it another try. So we're releasing the need to nail it the first time. And we are just moving in and moving out and trying again and falling out and then trying again and finding something new and continue to discover new things. So That's why it feels like I'm holding it for extra long. If you're holding it for as long as me, way to go. Know that that's always changing and different too. So there's some days I can hold a posture for, several breaths, and there's some days that I cannot, for the life of me, balance on one foot. So take every day with what comes, right? So go ahead and find this grounded standing stance. Inhale, reach the arms up. Grow the tailbone long towards the ground, arc back. As you exhale, take up space, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, place the hands on the ground, step back into your downward facing dog. Bend the knees, send the tailbone up towards the sky, reach the heart back towards your thighs. Stay active in those hands. Release the weight of the head. Draw the shoulders down the back. You are doing awesome. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, come back down onto all fours. You can move into child's pose or sit onto your heels for just a moment. Whatever pose you choose, I want you to recognize that in this moment, in either of those two poses, there is some effort happening. The steadiness of the pose. And simultaneously, there's an easiness that needs to be there. And that easiness can be in your thoughts, it can be in your breath, it can be physically in your body. You need to relax your shoulders, your face, whatever. And I just want you to choose one thing for you today that you can find in every pose we move into. And just create a little mantra. I am breathing. My shoulders are relaxed. I am smiling. Whatever it is that helps bring some ease, choose that mantra. Breathe it in. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Make your way into your tabletop. Set up your foundation really strong. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Or you're welcome to move into the modified version of this, moving into our lunge on our second side. Toes come to touch if you're coming with me. And then lift the left leg up this time. It doesn't matter how high. Circle out the ankle. Keep breathing. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's bring the knee in, shift the weight forward, press the ground away, round the spine a lot, and then place that foot down in between the hands. And then widen the stance, walk the foot where it needs to be. Take your time to come up. You can bring your hands onto your knees, still setting yourself up once you're up. So take your time. We're not in a hurry here. Stack the knee on top of the ankle. When you feel ready, let's lean the upper body back, bring the hands to the hips. Like a super person pose. Draw the tailbone down so you can feel the stretch happening in the right hip flexor this time. Low belly's engaged. And then begin to reach the heart away from the hips as you maybe lean back. Shoulder blades start to move in towards each other. Stay here or reach the arms up over the head. Upper arm bones are in line with the ear. And then really open up, lean back, lift your gaze, open your heart. Strong breath. Lots of steadiness needed here. How can you balance that with ease? One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower the hands. And as you inhale, walk that back foot forward. Stay on the tippy toes of your right foot this time. All your weight is in your left foot. Press down into that left foot so you can lift up out of the left hip, because it's very common to just dump our weight. We're going to ground down to lift up. And then using your breath, when you feel ready and balanced, core is engaged, heart's open, crown of the head is lifted, we're going to lift the right leg up this time so your knee is in line with your hips. You're staying very engaged in this foot that's in the air. You can grab a hold of the thigh or the knee, or you can stay with your hands on your hips. Keep pressing down into that standing foot. Lots of sturdiness, so find your version of ease here. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, lower that foot down, shake it out. Shake it up. Okay. Look at you go. Look at you doing all of these things. Did you know that you could do any of these things on day one? Maybe you did, but maybe you didn't. So we are going to move into my husband's very favorite pose of all time. And it's tree pose. And it's really cute that that's his favorite pose. Okay, so we have already been practicing the kinds of muscle engagement that we need to balance here. So we're good to go. We've already been doing this. So this is just an extended version of what we've already been doing. A couple options here. First, I want you to shift your weight into your right foot. And then notice right away what's happening in your hips. Try to press down through that whole foot so you're lifting up. You feel really engaged in this leg. Another trick I want to mention really fast is when I feel like I'm about to fall and I tell myself, I'm not going to fall. I just say it, you're not going to fall. I don't. I might really flail, but I don't fall. It's as soon as I tell myself like, oh, you're going down, that I am going down. So, okay, so a couple options here. We're balancing on our right foot already, pressing down, really engaged in that leg. Tailbone is drawing down so the low belly is engaged, and then the heart is lifting away very gently from the hips. Crown of the head is lifting up, and our shoulders are relaxing down the back. So our body alignment in this pose. Breathe into it. So you can move here to this little kickstand pose with your ankle here with your heel on your ankle, your left heel on your right ankle. And just work on balancing in this way. This is a great place to begin. So begin here if you need to. If you want to take it a bit further, you can lift that left foot off the ground and place it onto your right shin. The key here is to really push everything into the midline. So the shin is pressing into the foot every bit as much as the foot is pressing into the shin. Drop the tailbone down, lift the heart up, relax the shoulders down. Breathe into this. If you want to take it a bit further, you can grab a hold of that ankle, place it on the inner thigh. Same thing here. Press the thigh and the foot into each other really strong. And let that thigh or that knee kind of push back behind you in space. Subtle movement. Doesn't need to go far. Draw the tailbone down. Low belly's engaged. Reach the heart away from the hips. Slide the shoulders down the back and in towards each other. And you can bring your arms out like an airplane if that helps you balance. Or you can bring the hands to touch in front of the heart if that helps. You can keep your hands on your hips. Or if you want to begin to grow your tree, honey, let it shine. So remember again, I'm holding this pose for longer so that you have time to fall in and out of the pose. That's how we begin. Few of us begin something and master it the very first try. There would be no fun in life if everything came easy to us, I think, anyway. Take one more deep breath wherever you are. And as you exhale, we're going to lower it down. Roll out that right ankle, right hip, right knee. Shake it out. Shake the whole body out. No bad vibes. Okay. Ready to move on to the other side. Shift your weight into your left foot. Press down through that foot. Feel yourself growing tall away from the hips. Tailbone is rooting down, low belly's engaged, heart is lifting, shoulders relaxed. Breathe. Choose your version on this side. Doesn't need to look the same yet. Here on the other side, it can be a different choice. Check in. You can bring that right heel to your left ankle, your right foot to your left shin, or your right foot all the way up to your inner thigh. Just try not to place your foot on your kneecap because we don't want to press our kneecap out of alignment. Whenever you get to wherever you're going, press down again through that standing leg. Root the tailbone down. Grow the heart away from the hips, standing very tall as you relax the shoulders down the back and in towards each other. Keep pressing your leg and your foot strong into each other. Remember, we want to stay very active in the leg that's in the air. That helps our core stay engaged. It helps us find our fiery balance here. Choose what you want to do with your arms. And if you fall, laugh it off, try again. Keep breathing in and breathing out. Take one more deep breath wherever you are. Fill up the whole body. And the exhale will release it. Roll out that ankle, the leg, the whole body. Shake it out. Let it go. Let it go. Nobody's watching, right? Nobody's watching. Take a really wide stance and then open up the arms out wide. Lift them up over your head, kind of in a victory, like, yay! Lean back, grow the tailbone long. Reach the heart away from the hips as you lean back bend. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And as you exhale, fold forward. If the ground feels really far away, you're welcome to use blocks here, or you can heel toe your feet a little bit wider away from each other. And I just want you to allow yourself to fold here. And as always, finding any types of creative movements. You can sway from side to side. You can pulse as a half lift and then a forward fold. Or if it just feels better to stay somewhere in stillness, do that. You've already learned so much that I'm sure you're very capable of feeling into your body by now and checking in with what you need in each moment. And then however feels graceful and comfortable to you, we're going to make our way down onto the mat, coming into a seat. And we're just going to all try together butterfly pose. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. They can be really close to your body. This is the most challenging. And the further away they are, the less challenging that the pose becomes. You're welcome to sit up on a block or a blanket if you need to. Close your eyes because I think it's the fastest way to release any judgment. And then find that sturdiness, that steadiness in this pose. So we want to find a lot of spinal extension as the tailbone draws down, the low belly engages, the heart lifts, the crown of the head lifts, the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Maybe find some ease in the hips as you allow your knees to fall towards the ground. So you can stay here just working on that steadiness of the spine, engagement of the core, finding your version of ease. If you want to take this into a fold and it feels accessible in your body today, you're leading with the heart, so keep that head as just an extension of the spine, so we're not trying to get our nose to our feet or anything like that. You're just going to begin to lift up and out of the hips, and then folding forward from the hips, reaching with the heart. Just until you begin to feel resistance or you start to notice your spine rounding, and then you'll just pause and breathe. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, lifting back up. Bring the knees together. We're going to bring our hands back behind us. The fingertips can face whatever way feels okay for you. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, let the knees fall in. And then just windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then in your own time, dropping down onto your elbows. Maybe windshield wiper the legs again. And then we'll drop all the way down onto our backs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Hi, Millie. Hi. And then we're going to cross our right ankle over our left knee. And we've been here before, so you can see if this pose has grown for you. You can stay here, just working on pressing the knee very gently away from your body. Or you can begin to hug that left knee in towards the body. You can bend and extend the left leg. You can roll out the ankle. You can stay still or rock from side to side. Hey, Millie. I love you. Let's take one more deep breath here. And then as you exhale, drop the left foot on the ground. Keep the figure four shape. And we're going to take it all over to the left side. So your right foot is going to plant down on the ground. And then you're not pushing or pulling or doing anything. Right here, we're finding some ease. So you can let go of muscle engagement and just let your knee gently fall away from you. Keep both shoulders on the ground. Keep breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Then uncross the legs first before you bring it all back to the center. Feet as wide as the mat, knees tent in towards each other, just giving yourself a moment between the two sides to breathe. And then walk the feet back towards the center, crossing the left ankle over the right knee this time. Make your decision using your breath to stay here or draw everything in. And this is a really good stretch to do for the lunges that we fiercely held a few minutes ago and for the tree pose that we fiercely held a few minutes ago. For all the fire that we were finding ease in, for all the challenge that we were showing up to. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, just set the right foot down. Keep the left ankle on the right knee. Drop everything down on the right side. And then just work towards your shoulders being on the ground and letting go of muscle engagement here. So for me, and maybe this is true for you too, I really have to focus on letting go of my muscle engagement in my thighs and even in my glutes to hold the posture where it is. Just release that. And if your foot slips out a little, that's okay. Just let it become what it becomes so it can become kind of messy. Just feel into your body until you feel a sensation that feels like it needs a little bit of attention. Not pain, just some tense or tightness that you want to soften and find some ease in. And just keep breathing. Keep directing your breath into those places you can feel you need it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Uncross the legs first. And then we'll make our way into your final resting pose. So choose whatever feels right for you today. You can have your knees tented in, or you can extend your legs out long. And once you get there, just begin to scan the body, releasing any unnecessary muscle engagement or tension. Maybe it's in your face, maybe it's in the shoulders, maybe it's in your belly. Sometimes it's in our hands or our feet, our jaw, our lips, eyes, throat. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale, like a big sigh. Just telling our body and our nervous system it's okay and it's safe to completely let go, surrender, find ease. Coming to this moment of complete rest to balance the work, to balance the challenge, to let everything integrate. Simply letting our breath breathe itself. There's no need to do anything at all in this moment. Give yourself the time to rest. Please feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you're privileged to have time. You can bring your hands in front of your heart or on top of your heart just to come to a place of closing with me. And I just want you to think to yourself and really let yourself feel it. I'm doing this. Look how far I've come. You're here. Let yourself feel that. You're showing up for yourself, and perhaps in a brand new way. I give you so much of my gratitude for showing up and sharing your practice with me. It really means the world to me. I hope to see you again tomorrow for day 6 of our beginner yoga series. Thank you so much, friends. Namaste.